Hi, Ava here. Thanks for watching. I've just finished watching Young Royals on Netflix, and if you have not seen it, please go and watch it. I just loved it. I thought it was such fun, and like really intense and deep, and I thought the language was so wonderful. It's set in Sweden, but I wanted to do something a little bit fun and see if I could kind of read some tarot for the characters. We were left with a lot of questions. I felt very deeply sad in a lot of ways, and I really wanted to give it a go. Now, if this isn't your sort of thing, if tarot is quite a sacred practice for you, I understand like this video might not be for you, but for me, I look at it as a tool and also honestly something to help me debrief because I'm really needing to after watching. Okay, so let's jump in. I was thinking I really wanted to ask, I guess essentially what's going through Villes, and also don't mind my pronunciation. I'm doing my best. I even tried to look it up, but we'll see how we go. But I really wanted to know Villes. Oh, and spoilers, by the way. I will say there will absolutely be spoilers in this video, so please, if you watch with caution. But at the end, you know, I mean, when Villes decides to go against Simon essentially, and kind of betray their beautiful relationship that they formed, and in a lot of ways understandably with the pressures that he's got and the ways that he is kind of that he has, especially from his mother. Side note as well, the scene where his mother is like, oh, you know, I too had an unacceptable relationship. Does that mean she also is attracted to girls? Maybe she's bi or a lesbian and did her duty to the crown. I thought that was really interesting. But I really want to know what's going through Villes' mind at the moment. So at the very end, what is he going through? So this card popped out, so I'm going to leave that there as kind of an extra card. But I'm just gonna lay 3 cards out there and kind of see, you know, what's his experience at the minute. Ooh, okay, all right. And I might leave this one covered just for now, and we'll see how we go here. So I'm fascinated by this card. Of course, we've got the 6 of Pentacles, which is a really classic for like power dynamics and I guess like, you know, when you give to people who do not, and that kind of giving and receiving an energy of that kind. I wonder if, I mean, it's no wonder that, of course, Villes is really considering Simon's like status within the community, his kind of his inability to cross those boundaries that are so clearly set by, oh, don't mind my cat coming in, oh my goodness. You know, those boundaries that are so clearly set by the society at large and the culture at large. So of course he's really considering this and where he stands and where he wants to go. The other thing is figuring out his own personal power, which makes a lot of sense as well. You know, that sense of who he is as an individual, and then looking towards the future about what he wants to find out, which really to me kind of speaks to the way that Simon, you know, when he said at the end, you know, I'm not going to be hidden by anyone. I'm not going to be someone's secret, and you have to figure this out on your own. So it seems like, you know, this is a really powerful transformational journey for Villes. And we have the World up here. And really, to me, maybe this is just my sappy heart, hoping for the best, but to me this really speaks to, you know, I guess how they might be getting together in the next season. If there is a next season, please, Netflix. I'd be so excited for one, because I'd love it if Ville and Simon got together. Obviously, it depends on how their characters happen, but either way, it looks like with this transformation that's going ahead, Ville is really seeing the world for what it is and maybe embracing a wider view of it than what he's experienced before. So that is very, very exciting. Okay, I will think of another one. Oh dear. Okay, so I laid out these cards and then it described what I was going to do and then waffled on and then realized I didn't record anything. So I've just got them down here anyway. I've just kept them. I didn't want to reshuffle or anything like that. But what I've done, because what I really wanted to know, I really wanted to see how Simon kind of saw himself, which is what I've got up here. So how he sees himself, and then how others see him. And then I wanted to kind of compare and contrast it to Ville, so how he sees himself and then how others see him. And I just thought that this card was kind of addictive, especially because we got it before in terms of Ville and how he's going. But I wanted to first talk about Simon, because I haven't really spoken of him at all today, and I would really like to. He's so lovely and beautiful. So I love this card for him. So we see him we see him clearly not that happy sometimes. Like, he's clearly very aware of the class difference and what he has and does not have, and how that affects him, particularly within the hierarchy of the school, even getting his grades, the way that people treat him, that kind of thing. But I love this, and it kind of represents his solidness as a character, right? Like, he's so just unwavering and kind and willing to give people chances. And I just think it's so stunning that this is the card for him, because it means that, you know, he's relaxed, he's happy, he feels so lucky, he's filled with abundance in his life. You know, he's got his family around him, he's got his friends, he's got people he cares about, he's got resources, and he loves his life, and he's comfortable with who he is. And I love that. And then what's really funny, and it kind of makes sense in the show as well, you know, the justice card, you know, we've got justice for him, how he's perceived, you know, he's the, what's the term, you know, he's the judge and the jury and the executioner, you know, he's everything. He kind of defines morality, and maybe people see him that way, you know, he's this, really strong person who gets what he needs done, and it's maybe not always societally right, you know, in terms of like stealing his father's prescriptions or selling alcohol to the people. But when he was crossed by August, for instance, he went and he got his justice. He got the money that was owed to him. And perhaps people see that, you know, especially with someone, you know, for himself, he's so comfortable, he's so confident, and there's a kindness and a courage in there to be that way. For any person, but especially for someone where they're in a school with massive class disparity, who's also gay, openly, and is dealing with the inequities of everyday life. But then also that might come across to people, especially those who want to, you know, transgress his boundaries, might come across as, I suppose, a bit judgy, as a bit, you know, able to get what he needs and get out of there, you know. So yeah, I really liked that reading. And for Ville, I mean, we've already kind of talked about him a little bit, and I think we got both of these cards for him again. So this one, he sees himself as, you know, he's figuring himself out. He's looking to the future. And maybe there's that sense of, you know, he is not, there's a clear, like, this is security. And this is someone who's just starting out, who's like just thinking about things. You know, we've got this person who's doing the work, clearly, but what work is that? And what's he reaching for? Not even he maybe even knows at this point. He just knows that he needs change. And then how others see him, obviously. I mean, as the ultimate person in power, right? The ultimate power dynamic. He can pull it. He is the crown prince. I mean, halfway through the series he becomes the crown prince, but he is the crown prince, and that is an absolute Uno reverse card for whatever anyone says to him. And he doesn't like it, and to his credit, he doesn't use it that much, but he can, and that's a big deal. And for him, this journey is just made so much harder. All right, so I am nearing the end. I feel like I've kind of reached peace with this show now. I feel like I've reached a good place. What I do want to talk more about is maybe their relationship, and that if the relationship works, you know, what will be the beautiful aspects of it, what will be the challenging aspects of it, and what can they do to make it work? I want to know that. I think that's gonna be my last question. Okay, let's do it. So I want to hear about their relationship, if they're able to make it work, the good things, the bad things, and what they can do. Maybe it's a lesson for all of us. Okay. The good things, the difficult things, the challenges, and what they can do. Ooh, okay. So the Eight of Pentacles. Let me see. Let me put this up into the nice place of the camera. The Eight of Pentacles. This feels really steady. Like they can always rely on each other. They're gonna put in the work. You know, Ville is always going to be willing to do what he needs to make things right, as evidenced in the show. You know, he needed to make the difficult decision of throwing Alex under the bus. Not an exactly moral decision, but that was something that he did to make sure that Simon was not implicated for something that he did not do. And that showed a ferocity of love for Simon and an ability to move past his own pride to be able to stand up for him and find another solution. And Simon, you know, he was ready to put in the work in terms of going to Ville, in terms of going to the oval, the soccer pitch, when Ville was high off his mind, just high as a kite, and freaking out. He was, you know, he was there for him, and that kind of spawned this enormous thing. So they're always going to do the work for each other. They're always going to be there. Of course, the challenges, they're going to have outside challenges, and that's what this guy says. Like, look at all of these ones and hands and kind of pointing out this person. They're going to be on the defensive a lot of the time. And they're going to face challenges and criticisms from outside forces. They have done nothing wrong, but this is something that unfortunately will come to them. Which is really awful, isn't it? And I suppose in that way, it is why these TV shows are so important, because they get to show off these beautiful relationships that should not be contentious, right? Like, love should not be contentious in any way. It doesn't make any sense. But we've got our Two of Swords here. So again, we're coming up against sort of these kind of decisions that are not, that we're not making with our full, you know, full hearts. Oh my god, I'm really bad with the phrases today. What am I doing? Full hearts, something, eyes open, can't lose. We're not going into it that way. Oh wow, that was a butchering. Okay, so this one here is what they can do. And I'm wondering, you know, this is really interesting because usually this card is like, oh, give the advice about, oh, you know, someone's not wanting to see things for how they're going. Oh, actually, that's exactly what it's going to be. Sometimes I need to ramble a bit before I get there because, I mean, ultimately, how they're going to be able to make it work and what they can do to keep it going is stop trying to deny things and live an authentic life. I guess that's really unfair. This really needs open honesty. This needs absolute honesty for this one. And Ville, we have seen, is for the most part unable to give that, and that's something that he is going to have to go on a journey on to be able to give it again. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, I am so excited to make this video. I really just wanted to get some answers, get some insights, feel the thoughts, feel the feelings of that show because it was so wonderful. And if you have made it this far without watching it, that makes no sense. I've given you zero context. Please go and watch it. Otherwise, I'm assuming that you are well equipped and well in the know about the show. And I'm so looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments if you would like to give them. I thought it was the best. I loved it so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, bye.